This is the plaintiff, Jennifer Costello. She says she hired the defendant to scrape and paint her building, paid him good bucks to do it, and he just took off. When she finally tracked him down, she sent him a text message saying, hi ho, it's off to court we go. And here we are. She's suing for $300, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Michael Carpino. He says the plaintiff's one shady lady, and she's trying to paint a picture that he's not reliable. He got sick one day and needed antibiotics for an ingrown hair, and she told him it wasn't her fault he had a pimple on his face. That's how nasty she is. Owe her money back for the work he did? Never. He's accused of taking the money and doing nothing.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Jennifer Costello.
Yes.
You are suing Michael Carpino, doing business as New Millennium Contractors, for $300 that you want returned to you because, according to you, he did not do the job. All right, what is the job?
To scrape and paint the outside of my building.
Okay, and what kind of building is this?
It's a hair salon.
All right, and how did you meet him in order to hire him?
Well, about 8 years ago, he did some work for me, and at the time I found him unreliable. And one day—
So you couldn't wait to hire him again?
I was actually working, and he came in looking for me. He didn't recognize me, but I knew who he was. And he proceeded to explain to me that he was different now, and he was 30, and he was trying to get his business going. And he made me a great offer to scrape and paint the
But
building.
how was he looking for you? Like, why was he looking for you? Because you're one of his former clients?
Correct.
All right. All right.
And it was a really great deal. And at that point, I said to him, well, I don't really have $2,000 right now. So that night I went home and kind of switched it in my head. And I thought I could probably swing $1,000 right now. So I called him the next day and I said, how would you agree to paint the front and what the other side of the building is the 2nd Avenue side for $1,000? And then maybe by the end of the summer, I could afford to have the rest of the building painted. 15 minutes, came down, gave me my contract. I gave him $500.
Can I see the contract? Do you have a picture?
I do.
Okay.
The first picture I have is what the building looked like before he started, which you could see wasn't that great. And then the rest of the pictures are the work that he did do.
So what went wrong is that he never came back?
Correct.
And you are not suing for the full $500. Why?
Well, because I do have 7 gallons of solid color wood stain because he did buy paint, and him and his partner—
What does that amount to?
I don't know. I didn't have the receipt for the price, but it's 7 gallons of paint. So roughly, I would say about $125.
What's going on?
Well, I'm kind of upset about this whole ordeal because her building would be done right now.
If not for?
If not for the way that she was treating me during— I showed up there on a Monday with a guy and started working. I get $20 an hour. I work an 8-hour day. That's $160. I'm sure you can do the math, but I've got $250 worth of paint there. I got all the brushes, all the tools.
Do you have a receipt for the paint?
I don't have it on me. I just lost my uncle last week.
I'm very sorry.
I'm having a really rough week, but I don't do this to people either. I did 2 deals in the beginning of the year for $2,000. She agreed to do the whole building for $2,000.
No, you have a contract that agrees to do one side and one side for $1,000.
With the promise, which is a verbal promise, that she was going to do the whole building. If I only do half of the building, I make like next to nothing.
Yeah, but you didn't even finish that, and there has to be a reason why.
I started this other house in hopes that—
And by the way, when you say that, that's a verbal— that has nothing to do with your contract. Your contract says exactly what she said.
I understand
it was half the job.
We talked, me and her talked, and she knew that I was going to do this other house.
Okay, but that's fine. But okay, what is the reason that you didn't go back there and finish? Because of the way she treated you. Tell me about how she treated you.
Like
you showed up there to work and then you diverted. You showed up there to work on a Monday.
I talked to her on the phone the one day, and she was upset with me, of course.
For what? You're skipping stuff.
Because I went and did this other house first. This other guy had all the money.
So that had you off the job for how long?
For about a month and a half, because of rain.
But did it already look like this? Like, in other words, the month that you
Her
were off
prep-
the
her
job,
bill-
was it already scraped up and
Yeah,
stuff?
her building's all prepped. It's ready
Well, I
to
know
be
that's
painted.
prepped to you is an eyesore to a woman who's trying to run
Yeah.
a salon.
Oh, I
People
totally
go there because
understand
they
that.
want to be surrounded by beauty, starting with them, but they also don't want to be in some skanky place that's half, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's calling you and asking you to come, and you're saying, I've got other work.
No, I had every intention on going over there. Okay. She wanted me at first. I didn't know didn't want me there on a Monday and Tuesday because I'm outside making noise, which I understood. So then, in order for me to be there, not on a Monday and Tuesday, it would have to be a weekend.
So why couldn't you just interrupt that
after-
other job for
After
the
I
weekend?
finished this other house, it rained those few following weekends. On the Friday, it rained. So Saturday, I can't paint if it rains, especially with the stain. It has to dry out.
Do you ever call her and say to her, look, it's best if you just have me come on a regular weekday because it rained this weekend. So should I come on Monday and finish this up? Did you guys ever have that communication?
Like after the last conversation that I had with her, for the money that I was making, I kind of just wanted out of it because I felt like, I was just going to be screwed.
Okay.
So I
tell
figured
me
she
what
had
it
her-
was that she did that treated you poorly.
I mean, just the way she was talking to me on the phone.
You're going to have to do more than that. You
she's.
can't just conclude it. I have to conclude it. So you have to be specific.
All right. Well, I was basically like, just, I don't know. She's like talking to me on the phone like I'm nothing. You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just the way that she was talking to me on the phone. I'm going to have my husband talk to you. I'm going to have this. I'm going to minor threats.
Plaintiff hired the defendant to scrape paint off her building. She says he took her money and didn't do the job. He scraped her building and then took off for a month and a half to do another job. Her place looked terrible. And frankly, the defendant isn't doing so well explaining himself. Let's listen.
So you decided not to complete a contract because she said, I'm going to have my husband talk
I
to
was
you?
going to go down there, and then I'm about to go down there and finish on a Saturday where it's nice and sunny, and then I go to the post office and she's suing me. So I figured.
What coincidence. You
know
were
what I
about
mean?
to go down there. Did anyone know you were going to go down there? Had you made arrangements with her to go down there on this Saturday? Isn't your salon open on a Saturday?
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks after.
So what difference does it make if he comes on a Saturday or Monday? I imagine a Monday's much better.
I'm not quite sure where that whole thing came from because he was supposed to come after he signed the contract and I gave him the money. He was supposed to start Saturday. Then he never came Saturday. Then he showed up Sunday and he did have the ingrown hair on his face. It was very large. I understood he had to go to the emergency room. But then he didn't come back until Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm closed Monday and Tuesday. 2 perfect days to work.
Right. Because
So
Saturday's
he's-
a very busy salon day. Are you open Sunday too?
No.
Okay.
So he started
So you're
to
closed
scrape.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
He started to scrape on the Wednesday with his partner.
Okay.
And like I said, they worked about 5 hours. The work he did was lovely. I didn't have a paint chip left on my sidewalk. He cleaned it up. I was very happy.
Okay.
Now I don't hear from him for 3 weeks. He calls me up. I was just calling to let you know I'm finishing up this job. I'm going to get there with the rain. I had to get this guy done. And he said, I'm sorry. And I was like, well, I'm not very happy about it, but I don't have a choice.
Okay.
So with that, I was expecting him to come now because he was done with this job. 4 weeks later, I now
What happened during those 4 weeks?
Nothing.
Did you call him?
Never called him.
And he didn't call you?
No.
4 weeks later, what?
He calls me up to tell me now he's done with the job, tells me where it is. I should go check it out. It looks beautiful. That's what your building's going to look like. And now he needs money, which was what aggravated me.
Right, because according
Because
to the
now he wants
contract, he's
more
not
money.
supposed to get any more money until 2 weeks after the job. I don't even know why it says that, but
Well,
2 weeks
'cause
after the job is done.
He was estimating that it would take him 2 weeks to
Oh, I
paint
see.
both
So not
sides
2
of the
weeks after the
building.
job was done, but actually when the job was done. 2 weeks after this first 500, job complete. Okay. Go on.
So at that point, I said to him, I am not giving you any more money until you're done. Well, you were supposed to pay me 2 weeks after I started. That was when you were supposed to be done painting. You haven't painted anything.
Payment 2 weeks after job complete. How in any way would that mean anything but payment after job complete?
I did not ask her for any more money, Your Honor. What I did ask her was the fact of doing the whole building.
Listen, you don't have. I don't know why you keep saying that. That to me is a non-issue. You don't have a contract for that. But you know what people in your position do? They do a really good job on the first half, and then they get a job for the second half. That's how it works.
Can I show you the pictures of this other house?
No, I don't care about the other house. The other person, the homeowner in that house or the owner of that place is not suing you. I care about this one. I have the pictures in this one. I've got a contract that says what you're going to do. I've got her saying you asked for more money and then she lost it. I've got you saying she's insensitive because she wasn't sensitive to the. Would you have an ingrown?
It didn't have to do with the ingrown hair.
Okay, I had to do it. It was probably really painful though, right?
Yeah, it was.
Did you really have to go to the emergency room?
It looked it.
Welcome back to the People's Court. So can the building owner get the money back if the painter just escapes for a month and a half after the building's all scraped up?
You should be able to get your money back.
Why?
Yes. Because he hasn't done the job that you paid for.
Well, also, the building looks terrible. Is that relevant, that the building looks terrible and the business person's trying to do a job?
Absolutely, because part of your contract with him was that he would do a good job.
Is waiting a month and a half unreasonable?
I don't think so.
Why?
I have no idea. I couldn't hear you.
Going inside the courtroom.
Did you? And you thought that she was insensitive about that?
No, that's not what it was.
Okay, and
it's her loss. It's
I've
not
got
mine.
you saying I really wasn't making much by doing this job. All she did was yell at me and treat me horribly. I was on antibiotics for an ingrown hair. She told me it wasn't her fault I had a pimple on my face. This is how nasty she is. Did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I decided not to. Well, it's a little
I did say that.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not
you
my
shouldn't.
fault you had a pimple.
I
but
understand. You know what? Yeah,
You have my money.
It's not, I understand. It's not very polite. I decided not to go back because because she's been very nasty with me. And all I was doing was trying to make her hair salon look beautiful. I decided not to go back. That's very different from you saying, oh, I'm hi ho, I'm heading over there. Off to work we go to paint the place. And lo and behold, up on the mail, and there's a summons. Instead, you text him, hi ho.
It's off to court I go.
Did you really text him that?
I really texted. I figure maybe he'll show up now. I told him I don't want to sue you. I just want you to do the job.
Okay, so you did that when? You texted
on June
him?
6th.
And you texted him and then you filed the lawsuit when?
That same day when I got
so
no
you actually
response
texted him
back
after
from
you
him.
filed the lawsuit?
No, before. In the morning, I texted him.
Did you expect a phone call by that point?
I figured he'd get my text message and call me.
Either that or your son.
Come on, don't go to court.
Right.
And I didn't hear
And
from him
nothing
for
happened.
5 hours, so I
All
went
right.
to court.
How much did you spend on the paint? Is it paint or stain? What is it?
It's what it is. It's a solid Sherwin-Williams woodscape stain. It doesn't fade. I mean, it doesn't peel or chip. It fades after about 7 years.
Okay.
So, and the reason why I was doing this,
But you put it on like paint? Like you just roll it on?
Yeah, it's a solid stain. You know, and the reason why I came to her salon in the first place is because she had a problem with it the last time that they painted it.
Right.
You know, so really, genuinely, I just wanted that place to look good. You know, I felt
No, stop. Really, genuinely, you needed work. Okay?
That's
you do
not
not go
true.
about, you are not the salon fairy who
It's not
goes
true.
to every salon in town making sure it's the prettiest it can be. That is not what was going on. You needed work. You went over there. You pitched it to her. She pitched it back at, let's do half, and then maybe we'll do another half later. And then you got other work or got busy. Something shiny passed in front of your eyes. Something else was going on, whatever it was, and then you didn't come back. And the thing is, are you calling him? Or you're just not? See, that's the thing. See, you know how this game is played. Let me tell you how the game is played. When you want the contractors to show up at your house, you got to make your house better than the other girl's house. Let me tell you how you do that. The contractors come to your house and you've got donuts and coffee. That way they all want to go to your house first thing and get worked on it. And then you've got to be really chipper. And that's how you got to make sure that they show up at your house instead of the other guy's house.
I let him use my phone so he could call his dad to pick him up to bring him to the ER for his ingrown hair
That
on
was
his
so
face.
kind of you.
And then he never came back, so I couldn't even offer him a donut.
All right. What are we going to do about this now? We've got a certain amount of work that he did, which is clearly a lot of the work. Okay. You're looking at it like it's not, but it's a modicum of work there. I have to decide whether I should value the work that was done at utterly zero and award you the $300. And I'm just not going to do that. You know, I realized that he walked away and that was wrong. And I realized that he left you hanging and that was wrong. But at some point you mitigate your damages and you hire somebody and you have them paint and, you know, and what you're out is the difference there. You left it this way. I don't know, maybe you like the Parisian feel to it or something. It sort of does have that Restoration Hardware kind of faded thing going on. Not so much. All right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a little bit. But I just, you know, you've got the paint. You're obviously going to use it with someone else. It's just a matter of paying somebody for their hours of their day to get it painted. I'm not going to order him to return any money. My verdict in this case is for the defendant. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The judge rules for the defendant here. The plaintiff comes out. What's your reaction to this verdict here? Step
I'm
up a
not.
little. Yep.
I'm not very happy about it, but I do understand where she's coming from. I didn't really think of the fact that I should have got an estimate on how much it would really cost to paint the building, because it would have definitely been way more than $2,000.
How'd you treat him? He says you were pretty nasty. What do you think?
Well, after he didn't come back for 2 months, it's kind of hard not to be. When you've
So
paid
you don't
for
deny
something
you were
you
nasty
did.
to the guy?
I don't think I was nasty. I just wasn't very nice. I wasn't nice. I was angry.
All right. Okay, head right down this way, all right? The documents are waiting for you. All right, come on out here. Step right in here. Congratulations. You won your case, but I don't know if you really looked that good.
I don't feel good about it. I don't feel like I won because I lost a customer.
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel like the judge made the right decision. I don't feel like I owe her anything, and I don't feel like she owes me anything.
Okay, well, this is your reputation on the line
I'm a very good painter. Everybody knows it in my area. I work for a few people doing finish work and this and that. So, I mean, I'm not worried about work. It's not going to hurt my reputation.
It's just bad timing on the ingrown hair, huh?
It's bad timing on the face, you know. But, hey, luckily it's all cleared up.
Looks good. Harvey?
So at some point when the work actually is begun, the damages are not about a refund. The damages are how much will it cost to get the job done that you expected to get done by the person you're suing. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.